Yo, welcome to the DA, the 2X King, leaders of the new regime for hope and learning, the place you can come to make your 2X dream. And if you tax for time, rock that 2X lean. So let's break it down and show them what 2X means. Let's go. Hey, welcome back. You're probably like, hey, why is he wearing the same shirt as yesterday? You know, nah, it's not even like that. I just I'm recording twice today because I fell back, so we gotta step forward. So this is the second recording of the day, first writing. We're in a good day, and hopefully you're doing well today, better than yesterday and worse than tomorrow. No time for sorrows, all time is borrowed, so let's get it moving bizarre, yo. We moved to the back porch. We're gonna see if we can even make this happen. I keep getting roommates coming out to get in the way of it, so maybe I'll be up on the front porch before the end of this video. We will see. We shall see. But if you aren't here to have a good time, why are you even leaving your own brain space at all? We are lucky to be here, so no matter how dark it is, I'm hoping that you can push through, because if you push through, eventually you'll find some good news. Okay, so yeah, enough messing around. Let's get into it. I'm deeply sorry for not providing the uploads the past couple of days, but I hit my breaking point of sorts. I really needed a day to recharge for that work/sleep reasons, and so that's what I did yesterday. I had 2 great sleep sessions, and I'm ready to go hard again. Yeah, we hard in the paint. So I try to watch my energy level so I don't have days like that, but it's kind of inevitable with the way my schedule is full. So that's how it is right now. So sorry to all the people out there who have been following with rapt attention. I mean, all 3 of you. Yes, I still wrote 6 days and released content 5 out of 7, so that isn't too bad. We are back. I'm sorry, we had to go from back side to front side again. I told you it was gonna happen. My boy came back with the supersized Sonic root beer, and I wasn't about to have y'all subjected to the slurpage, while we're trying to get out this premium content, because that's what it is. It's premium. It means, except it's free. Anyway, so yeah, I said blah blah blah, trying to hit my days, but not quite did it. But we're doing okay. I think we're about where I was talking about, where I've been rolling through tons of topics in my mind. But first I wanted to finish the story first. The story of the trials and tribulations of a youth trying to make sense of the world and figure out where he fits in. Hallelujah. Can we get one from the congregation? Hallelujah. Thank you. Anyway, so the last entry we left off around 10ish. We were focused on my neighbors in the neighborhood and some early childhood relationships. Today we get into school, and while my story may not be the wildest one, hopefully it connects with some people. They'll bullying, stuff like that, and we can all get something out of it in the end, because it's good times and bad times, and then we find love. So yes, because this is the beginning of a legacy that has many chapters, and we're still working on the intro, so let's go. Yes, sir. All right, so moving on to elementary school, that K through 5, where every day is about making sure recess is outside. By many measures, my school was pretty decent, with good teachers and a quaint atmosphere and a nice little community. I mean, we had like Miss Rudisel, we had like Miss French, Miss English, I think Miss Springer, third grade, I want to say, man, she was cool. She got on me because one day I went like, she said, "Don't you ever do that. Don't you ever do that." I'm like, "Oh, my dad smokes though." "Don't you ever do that." I had a pencil in my ass. It's just smoking on pencils, man. They didn't want the kids being bad influences from a very young age. Anyway, so the demographics of my school weren't crazy interesting, at least not to me at that point in my life. It was probably about 90% Caucasian, where every class had maybe 3 African Americans tops and maybe a single Asian or Latino. And I know it's kind of awkward to talk about race, but I think it's interesting how the demographics changed over time. And it's hard to discount something that we all deal with on some level pretty much every day. So I found a nice little crew in elementary school. We had, we're going to continue using single letters for the names. So we had M, who was the cool, funny guy. He had like that suave, smooth type of funny. Well, he wasn't really suave because he's a kid, you know, but he was smooth. He didn't need to say too much because when he said something, it would hit. And you're like, yeah, thank you, bro, for your input. And then we also had M2. He was also a funny guy, but he was more opposite of the first one because his energy was much more spastic and energetic. He'd be doing the weird things. He'd be like the kid who'd like challenge you to like a snot booger race or something. I don't even know what that is. We just made that up. But anyway, he'd be the one. He'd do it. Then we had P. He was the calm and reserved voice of reason. Kind of like your Chucky from the Rugrats. If you know, you know. But he was a cool cat too. And at this point, my personality was kind of wild. I was more towards that M2 side. Plenty of energy, always trying to get the class laughing, to the point where I pretty much had a lease on that back corner spot of the room. You know, that place where the teacher sits you when you're being annoying to them. Like, quit it. You go sit in there and turn around and don't you make a noise or you're going to see the principal. And I'd be like, hey, whatever. Anyway, yeah. So that was my place. I also had a interesting kink around then, which I moved out of by the time that I hit middle school. But I was the definition of a cry baby. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes for no reasons, sometimes to avoid, sometimes to get something I want. It was bad. It's real bad. And I'm not sure what the real reason was, but since it's happened, I've assumed it's kind of due to my parents kind of arguing every night, whether they were arguing between each other or with my older brother. But there was always an argument about some type of random thing. They'd be the silliest things, like things that you shouldn't have to talk and argue about for longer than a minute would just go on for hours, and they'd be yelling and all that stuff. No fighting, really, no throwing things or nothing, but you know, it was always loud. It was always a loud household, so I was just like going in my shell sometimes. But so I imagine for a kid, it's pretty hectic in that situation when you're living around a lot of turmoil. I mean, for a kid, theoretically, I think you'd be constantly confused because you don't understand what they're talking about, and there's all this animosity in the air, and you kind of become sad by nature because you can't understand why there's like all this unexplained anger, because you can't understand the concepts that they're arguing about, at least not to the level that they would, you know. Anyway, despite that, most of the time I was a happy-go-lucky kid, but in the face of adversity, I would usually go down to crying as my first reaction. And I guess that's better than fighting, but it took me a while to break out of this issue where I would kind of revert to negativity and sadness. And that kind of carried on into adulthood in many different ways, which we can cover in the future. But for now, let's keep it there. Overall, elementary school was great. Good teachers, good friends, and just the occasional day where you don't realize there's a hole in the ass cheek of your pants. Yeah. I was on my way. I was on my way to being a well-adjusted, happy kid, and I think And then middle school happened. Yeah, middle school, not too great, but now you'll start to understand why I went over demographics in the beginning. I went from a mostly Caucasian elementary school to a 95% African American middle school. And if you have not hung around black kids in your youth, you know that black kids will drop bombs. They just drop fire. They will just lacerate you with their words, and that's why we become so lyrically absurd. But anyway, that's what I was dealing with. So, like, if you weren't in the honors class, you might have 2 Caucasian kids in your class tops. And so this resulted in a kind of natural segregation, but there weren't any race-based incidents or anything, so it was pretty cool overall. However, 6th grade was a bit of a nightmare for me because having gone to a mostly Caucasian elementary school, I didn't know how to fit in with black people. I was a fairly whimsical kid, and so I also had a undiscovered slight disfigurement in my body structure as well that made me have poor posture, and that combined with having like a respectable dude butt, these all combined to create a year where I was picked on savagely every day. And so like in the late 90s, things weren't as progressive as they are today, and the worst thing you could be called was gay. Gay was literally the word for anything that you did not like. So homework was gay, or if you got punished, that would be considered gay. So having that label used against you on a daily basis was pretty hard for me as a kid, especially when you didn't even know it was a thing really, and like you just started knowing what the opposite sex was as far as attractiveness goes, and you knew you were attracted to them, but regardless of what you said, people would say something else. So it was not really great for me. I didn't want to go to school at all, and eventually like even people that I thought were friends would make a joke that would just make me feel some type of way. So I was like a sad, angry kid in 6th grade without any friends, and 6th grade was pretty tough for me. Only friends I had were the ones I knew from elementary school, and maybe like 2 or 3 of them came over from the last school, and I only had them in like a class or 2 for the whole year. So, but I wasn't gonna just sit there and wallow in my pain and just be that kid the whole time. So that summer I became a freaking addict for watching BET. Like that was the main channel I watched the whole summer, and I was just learning about black culture, and I came back to school ready to fit in, you know. However, my negative reputation wasn't quite clear. It was really had actually grown to be a bit strong by then. So while I had changed and I was doing out different things, putting out a different type of energy, I came to the stark realization that like people still kind of saw me some type of way. Like, for example, a new kid came into the school and we became friends quickly because we like vibe pretty good. And then by the end of the week, that Friday, he said that he couldn't be friends with me anymore because he heard that I was gay. So like, shit was sad. But I recovered quickly. I wanted to find a place where I did fit in. So in the cafeteria, there was the group of the kids who they set off to themselves. They were just doing their own thing. They had their own lingo. They had their own style. And they were kind of protected by just being different. And so I became a computer gamer. Once again, the only black kid in the group, but I still felt a bit more comfortable. There were like pretty much every day after school, we would load up some StarCraft and play for hours till our parents forced us off. We'd also play Diablo, and later like Diablo 2 and Warcraft 3 when those dropped. Which reminds me, what happened to you, Blizzard? Blizzard, what happened? You were supposed to be the chosen one. How could you slaughter those younglings' dreams? I digress. Anyway, 7th grade became pretty pleasant overall, as we like blissfully like lived in our own world. During 7th grade, I also found another friend group and seemed to become one of the cool kids, at least in the Caucasian side of the school. Things were pretty good, but the cool kids group wasn't always that cool. Like, while I had great relationships with the nerd group, the cool group was a bit different. Maybe it was because there were only like so many seats in the cafeteria, so I rarely could find a chance to sit with them. But like, meanwhile, on the nerd table, sometimes you'd be delegated to the adjacent table, but you still be cool. You just weren't with the cooler nerds. You were with the less cool nerds, and you were looking over, you're seeing what the cool nerds were saying the whole time. But like, regardless, we all got on the game at the end of school day, and we had a ball. But so one weekend I'm supposed to hang out with the cool kids and have a sleepover at my buddy M's house, who I'd known since elementary school, and he had also grown to be part of that group. And the coolest kid in the group was this kid JP. He had no TV at home, so his mind was full of advanced philosophies on things that nobody had any right mind to be thinking about in middle school in the 90s, you know. Well, it was around 2000. Yeah, sixth grade was 2000. 7th grade was 2001. Yeah, 9/11 hit, and that was a while. Well, maybe we'll talk a little bit about that, but it's not here. Anyway, so yeah, he was talking about Marxism and anarchy and all that stuff, like, seemed to make him cool, and all the girls liked him as well. And so we're supposed to have this hangout, and he managed to score some mini bottles of gin. And so other than that, we were gonna have some fun, but we kind of would battle sometimes, because he also had a penchant for saying he was blacker than me, and I wasn't really black, which was a weird type of thing, because you don't really consider that too much as a kid until like someone kind of throws that in your face. And so it kind of hurt in an opposite but like similar kind of way to the direction of being called gay. So it was a not great. So anyway, we were hanging out, and everyone has a shot of gin. But when it came time for the second round, he said I probably had too much. I wasn't doing anything wild. I was just being normal, my normal, like, kind of having fun, energetic type of self. But this made me angry, and we got into a fight, and I ended up leaving earlier. And this taught me once again that some people aren't worth trying to force to have a good relationship. And I think that's it for today. My writing is cleared up. We went over the writing time, but don't worry, things will get happier soon. Like high school, much better. College, also great. And post-school, also learned a lot. So we're going to cover those, get back into some juicier topics after that. I hope that you are enjoying the journey, though. Until the next time, like, comment, subscribe, Vike, vomit, collide. Be easy.